talking franchises here, bud.
All right, welcome to the franchise. That's the name of the show, right? Yeah. You're jacked in. I'm jacked in. I got L Dog over there. Logan B. Adair. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yeah. Oh, I'm Daniel Ehrenberg. I didn't say that, but what are you gonna do? So it's a weird week this week. We're closing out one franch and starting a second franch. And see, last week we did Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. We did them all up and down. We talked about everything we could think of. And now we're back. They're ready to face the music, much like they were back in I don't know, over 20 years after the previous one. 30
I'd say
years.
much longer. Yeah.
About almost 30 years. Yeah. And you know, a lot of wear and tear on this gang, but they can still say excellent like nobody's business. So let's talk about it. Then we'll be starting our next franchise, all right, which is Blade, starring Wesley Snipes. You know, he was in 3 of these bad boys. We're going to just talk about the first one today, and then we'll be back next week to talk about Guillermo del Toro's weird middle chapter and then David Goyer's terrible third chapter. What are you going to do? Maybe it's not terrible. Maybe we'll have a newfound love of Blade Trinity next week, and we'll be like, God damn it, we were robbed of years of Jessica Biel, Ryan Reynolds vampire hunting movies.
I never saw it, so I don't know.
Okay. You know, just looking for your input there.
That's the Triple H one, the third one?
It's like sometimes, Logan, talking to you, I feel like I'm just like staring at the back of my TV.
Oh,
like,
stop it. Buffy, I'll be talking for like 5 minutes at a time. You'll just be sitting there.
I'll be looking for an input. That's what that is.
Oh, my
Ready?
God.
That's good. All right. Logan.
Yeah.
We'll get to Blade. Let's start with Bill and Ted, okay?
Okay.
All right, so let's take you back. Well, let's take you back a little further. So I guess this movie first came into development in like 2008 or something like that. Okay, like around like late aughts, and Keanu Reeves, he had been asked on a red carpet, like, would you ever play Ted again? You know, it's hard for me. As a kid, I thought it was the reverse.
Because he's the star.
For some, yeah, I guess so. Like it felt like he should have first billing. So in first billing, you know, Alex Winter really has first billing in these films.
Yeah. Keanu only has first Tedding.
That's right. So yeah, I guess in my head for years as a kid, I thought of it as Bill and Ted. Keanu's Bill.
I think me too.
So I have to do the math every time I talk about it. I'm like, no, it's the opposite of what you want to say.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. All right. So Keanu said that he'd play Ted again. Alex Winter heard this and was perked up.
What if he said no?
Well, Alex Winter might have killed himself.
No, what if Alex Winter said no? Like Keanu was like, I really want to be Ted.
Oh my God. Imagine that. Jesus Christ. I mean, Keanu probably would have just been like chill about it. Like, all right, I got other stuff in the hopper. Don't worry about it, buddy. Yeah. But Alex Winter was super psyched. It was not the winter of his disc, it was the summer. I don't know.
He said winter is coming to that set. You better believe it.
Now that's the kind of input like that getting a joke like that. It's like when you find the hole in the back of your TV, you're like, I can finally play my Xbox 360.
360, you're going through. I think there have been 2 new ones since that.
I know, but I my girlfriend has a 360, so we play it sometimes.
Okay, play Halo on the 360.
Oh no, we play like Left 4 Dead or something.
Okay.
So we got Bill and Ted in the hopper. Ed Mathis, what is his name? Ed Solomon and
yeah.
Chris Matheson. Is that their names?
Yeah.
Is it Chris Matheson?
That seems right. Ed Solomon's 100% correct.
Didn't we find out that he was like the son of the guy that wrote I Am Legend?
Yes.
Right. Okay. All right.
The book, not the movie.
No, he didn't write the movie I Am Legend. That was some other douchebag. It might have been David fucking Goyer, the guy who wrote Blade. Anyway, those two, they get together. They hadn't been working together. They were separate at this time, but they were like, that'll be fun. Let's do a fucking Bill and Ted movie. And so they like wrote a Bill and Ted, but they weren't asked to do this. Like the studios did not care about this. But they actually it was I don't know, a creatively motivated sequel, which you don't see a lot.
Like Clerks 3.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't do those anymore.
That's cool though. I didn't know all about that.
Yeah. So they got Keanu and Alex Winter involved. They brought the script to the studios, and the studios were like, we don't want to make this. We like cool that you wrote this or whatever, but like it's like 2010 and we have no interest in making a 20 years late Bill and Ted sequel. All right? But then something happened, Logan, in 2014. A little movie called John Wick gets released.
Yep.
All right. Now, all of a sudden, our boy Keanu is back on top of the film world. And the studios were like, didn't you have like a franchise movie that you wanted to do a couple years ago? Maybe let's do that.
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody got back involved. Alex Winter, he must be the biggest John Wick fan in the world.
Yeah, that's a paycheck for him.
That was a paycheck for him. So unfortunately, they find, I mean, fortunately, they get the movie off the ground, but unfortunately, it comes out right at the heart of COVID summer, baby. All right. 2020. Let's take you back to that year. You know, it's fucked up. Like COVID feels really recent to me, but 2020 was like years ago.
I feel like it seems about as recent as it was. The weird thing I have trouble wrapping my mind around was I was like 21 years old when it started or something.
Yeah, that is crazy.
It is wild to think about.
I know. I guess it's like I was living with like another lady during COVID, and now I'm living with another lady.
You moved like across the country.
Yeah, so much has happened to me since COVID.
Right.
I guess that's why it feels far from me. But anyway, this came out. Everybody watched it. I mean, not
Really?
everybody, but like film nerds watched it. I remember there being like a few days there where everybody was watching it, and everybody seemed real happy with it. Good, solid reviews. And I wanted to watch it, Logan, but I was like, well, Bill and Ted, it's only 3 movies. Like, we'll do it on the podcast at some point.
Yeah, Henry was still around at that point.
Yeah. And Henry likes Bill and Ted, so excuse me. So I thought we'd get to it sooner rather than later. But it didn't happen until now. So I finally watched it for the first time yesterday.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I'm glad to hear it. You watched it at the time?
No, I never saw
okay.
the second one until last week.
When it came out, how'd they release it?
I want to say it was like Amazon or not. Oh, that was like Paramount Plus, I think.
But could you like stream it on there?
What's the alternative? What do you mean? I believe so.
Because I
Like
had to
buying
rent.
it, you mean?
I had to rent this motherfucker yesterday, and I was furious about it because I was like, "This is streaming era classic."
Yeah, I thought the exact same thing. To be honest, I looked it up and I was like, "Wait, wasn't this streaming at the time? Why do they do that?" But then I just bought it, or no, I watched it illegally. So
Right, I'm pissed off though. If you're gonna spend money on something for your streaming service, it's got to be on there.
maybe we're
Like
wrong. Was it not a stream?
I'm not. I don't know. It might not have been streaming for free. That's the only thing. Like maybe it premiered on Amazon Prime as one of those things. Remember during COVID, we were all excited, like, oh yeah, we could pay like movie prices, watch something at
Yeah,
home.
Mulan for $25.
Yeah. Ugh, those were the days.
But we had Tim. Tim was like, I bought it, so you guys can watch it if you want. Because he had
Well,
kids.
I still didn't watch that.
I didn't either. But he was nice at the time. I remember him doing that.
No, he was great. I watched at least one or two things because of Tim during the pandemic. But yeah, but I was pissed off yesterday. I thought I was gonna like turn on my TV, just be able to like go to Netflix or something and watch this shit.
I looked
But-
it up. It says Bill and Ted Face the Music was simultaneously released in theaters and through premium VOD.
There you
So I guess you had to buy it. or
Yeah.
rent it.
All right. So that was disappointing. This should be streaming somewhere. Anyway. It came out August 28th, 2020. It had a box office of it had a budget of $25 million. It made like no money because nothing during that era made money. Like you go back and look at the box office grosses of like Tenet, and it's like $8, and you're like, what?
I think Godzilla, that's what saved us, right?
Yeah, but even that was like an HBO Max release, right?
Right, but that's the one I remember at the time was like theaters are back. Godzilla versus Kong.
Really? I don't
They're saving
that's funny.
theaters.
I didn't
Yeah.
realize that was so significant. What
Oh,
a
yeah.
terrible movie that was, too.
It was better than the King of the Monsters.
I didn't see that one.
Oh, yeah, it's better than that.
Isn't that's got Millie Bobby?
Yep. Her parents are Vera Farmiga and who played the coach in Friday Night Lights?
Kyle Chandler?
Kyle Chandler. Those are her parents.
Wow. No appearance by Vera Farmiga's granddaughter Thaisa Farmiga.
Yeah, she is in it. She and Millie Bobby Brown are actually sisters.
That makes sense.
That'd be kinda cool.
All right. What do we got? This movie nominated for a couple of awards. Should I get into that before we start talking about it?
Yeah.
All right. How about the People's Choice Awards?
The people make the choice. It's up to the people that chooses they see fit. Fitbit choosing the People's Choice Awards. It's the choice awards to the people.
Love it.
Yeah. A lot of people watched it because of COVID. So the people voted on this movie. And it was nominated for Best Comedy and Best Performance in a Comedy. And it lost both of those awards to The Kissing Booth 2.
Well, who was nominated?
What do you mean? For performance?
Yeah, you said best performance, but who is it?
Keanu was nominated.
Oh.
And he lost to Joey King, newlywed Joey King.
All right. Fine.
Yeah. And the Saturn Awards, they nominated for a couple things as well. Best makeup and best fantasy film. All right. And makeup they gave it to The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
That's dumb. And fantasy film, they gave to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood,
All right.
which I guess
so.
I guess that's a fantasy because they kill like the Manson family at the end,
Yeah, I guess so.
and Sharon Tate lives. Spoilers for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
That's fine, I guess.
All right. All right. So let's talk about Bill and Ted Face the Music. How did we feel it wrapped up the franchise? I'll just give you my overall thought at the
Should we rank the
beginning.
year or no?
2020? We can do that if you want.
I didn't see that much this year. 32 films. So
What came out that year that would be easy for me to look up on
Shiva Baby.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Great.
Or that might be like a weird came out at a festival one
Oh,
year.
you might be right.
Maybe Soul.
No. That came up as a 2020 release. All right.
Okay.
Go ahead. You want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. Number 10. Shout out to Tim. I think we're gonna do an episode. I don't know if I'm invited, but I think what we were gonna do is us three, and we were gonna add somebody to the panel talking about Hubie Halloween.
Hubie. Wow. Great film.
Yeah. Oh, maybe again. Number 9. This is
Yeah,
where
just do your whole list.
all right. Number 9. I put The Hunt. You remember that movie?
Yeah. Yeah, that was a big COVID release.
That was kind of fun. Number 8. Lee Winnell. We talked about him just recently. The Invisible Man. Number 7 is Judd Apatow's The King of Staten Island. That'll probably be on your list.
No,
Number 6.
just outside.
Okay. Number 6, we'll cover this at some point. This will be fun. Borat, subsequent movie film. Number 5.
That's just outside my list too.
I don't think you liked this one that much. My number 5, Promising Young Woman.
No, I did. You know what's odd is
You hate the ending?
I hated the ending. Yeah, like I'm looking at it, and 17 on my list is Promising Young Woman, 18 is Borat, and 20 is King of Staten Island. So you're all just out, and 25
I didn't see
is
that much.
Invisible Man.
You're gonna have a ton of stuff I didn't see. Number 4,
And 30
Palm
and
Springs.
30 is The Hunt for me. All right, Palm Springs is on my list.
All right, number 3, The Way Back, Ben Affleck drunk basketball movie.
23 for me.
Number 2, Emma Seligman's Shiva Baby.
2 for 2, baby.
Yeah. And number 1, Pixar's Soul.
Great, yeah. All right, here's my top 10 list. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Now, I didn't count The Last Dance. That's not really a movie. And I didn't count Beastie Boys Story. It's just not really a movie either.
Yeah, none of us were thinking, oh man, I really hope he counts The Last Dance.
Fuck you. All right. Number 10 for me. I'm going to give a shout out to, I think Leslie, the listener Leslie might have recommended me this movie. Somebody did. I'm pretty sure it's her. Was the Kid Detective. I added that onto my list recently. It's in the top 10.
That's awesome.
All right. Loved that movie. Number 9, I got Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Number 8, Kajillionaire. Miranda July's Kajillionaire. Number 7, Shiva Baby. Number 6, Feels Good, Man. Documentary about Pepe the Frog. Number 5, Palm Springs. All right. A great film. Number 4, Soul.
Has that guy done anything since Palm Springs?
Yeah, he did a TV show. It was like an 8-episode TV show. He wrote the whole thing. It was called The Resort, and it wasn't very good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Number
Anyway.
5.
4, yeah, that was 5. 4 is Soul. Number 3, Charlie Kaufman's I'm Thinking of Ending Things.
Oh, you know what? I watched some of that and then I turned it off and then I never came back to it.
Wow.
I'm
I love
sorry.
that.
I don't know what happened with that.
I don't know. Number 2, Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always, the classic Eliza Hittman abortion drama.
Yeah.
And she hasn't done anything since then.
Wow. Nothing
Get
at
off
all?
your ass,
Not a
Hitman.
show.
No,
Yeah,
I don't
as Kim
think so.
Kardashian once said, get off your ass and work.
Oh, I guess yeah, right. She directed a little bit of that Friend of the Family show, so she's working. But make a movie, bro. You're 3 for 3 as far as I'm concerned. Hitman,
Wow.
Beach Rats, and It Felt Like Love. Check them out, gang. And the best movie that year was Da 5 Bloods
Of
by
course.
Spike Lee. Yeah. All right. Let's talk about Bill and Ted. I'll tell you this. I was excited to watch it. At first, for a while, to be honest, I felt pretty down on it. I was not enjoying myself. I didn't really get what it was going for. I was upset that they hadn't saved the world yet because it to me, if I felt like it negated the ending of the first 2 a little bit.
I had that thought too.
Yeah, sort of Alien 3'd me right in the guts. But it turned around. I liked the way it ended. I thought it got just crazy enough where it wasn't like too epic and crazy, but like you could follow everything that was going on still, and it was like the right amount of silly. I found the emotional conclusion of the movie really satisfying. I had a couple of big laughs. Overall, it kind of turned me around. I feel good about it. I still think it's not as good as either of the originals, but as a reboot, I don't know. I think people were maybe a little higher on it than I am, possibly because it came out during COVID and it wasn't a disaster, and we were all worried that it might be a disaster. It's definitely not that, but but I think it's just okay, but satisfying as a third watch. Like if I ever went back and watched like the Bill and Ted movies again, I would include this in the rewatch.
Yeah. Do you think it's better than what you like? Because this is basically just like what we imagined would happen after 2. Would you rather just still have what you imagined, or does this live up to that? You think?
I mean, to be honest,
It's kind of like El Camino a little bit.
I would sort of rather what I imagined at the end of 1. So like
Okay, fine.
we already
But-
did 2, so why not just do 3? It's fine. I think that's how franchises go, right?
Yeah. What do you think about my comparison to El Camino? That's pretty good.
I don't understand it.
Like you basically at the end of Breaking Bad, you can imagine what happens with Jesse. He drives off. You can just imagine it. Is El Camino a better thing than what you imagined happened to
No, I think it's
Jesse?
probably similar in that it's completely unnecessary, but it doesn't ruin what happened in my head.
That's how I feel
you
about
know,
this. I feel
so-
similarly to both of those.
Yeah. So like that's fine.
Okay. I sort of liked the beginning when we're at Missy. She's getting married to Ted's little brother now.
Well, I like that. That's funny.
I did think that was.
And the
funny.
little brother was Beck
Is it the same
Bennett.
kid? Oh no, it was
No,
Beck. Of course it was Beck Bennett. Of course it was Beck Bennett.
What was it? The same kid?
I was just wondering. But I mean, they got the same dad, right?
They did, yeah.
And same Missy. So
Looking
it
old
wasn't a
as
dumb
hell.
question.
Yeah,
Come on. I didn't think they looked that old. I mean, Dad looks pretty old.
yeah.
But,
I
I
meant
thought Beck
that.
Bennett was very funny.
No, I did too, and I did like the opening at the wedding, them performing the song and like Wild Stallions music at this point because they're so trying to like force a song that would change the world. Like it's like this epic like fucking American Idiot.
Well, they were told it was gonna
douchebag,
happen.
like-
So they think if they just keep going, then it'll just happen. So you can't really
I
blame
know.
them.
No, it's true. Yeah.
But
No. Yeah, they've been working on it for years. They've been like putting out records and songs and stuff, and then like it doesn't get an urgency until later in this movie. Kristen Shaw shows up as Rufus's daughter?
daughter, granddaughter, something like that.
Yeah, and she says like you have to do it in the next 70 minutes or whatever.
So basically that's the plot is they go to the future to steal the song that's already made from their future selves and then bring it back to make the song in the present, basically.
I think it's cute that they're so excited to go to the future because like they've been shit on for so many years in their regular lives and they're like they love us in the future. Let's go.
Yeah. I guess that was okay.
Oh,
What'd you
poor
think about the
fellas.
daughters? Oh, by the way, Bill's family, especially huge franchise crossovers, right? Jama Mays from Paul Blart and Samara Weaving from Scream 6.
Jama Mays from Glee. It's always great to see Jama Mays. And
Why are
Aaron
you giving her
Hay,
like a Holly Hunter accent? a
because
little bit?
she talks like that on Glee.
No.
um,
Probably because she's hiding her accent, right? She had
Is-
like an Australian accent in this movie or an Irish accent. She
I
had
don't
some
think
accent.
that's real. I think she's American. I think
Really?
they're both American. Yeah.
Oh no, Samara Weaving is not American.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. You mentioned Jama Mays, so I
Right.
of course thought of the other wife in the film, the other princess, which is Erin Hayes.
Oh right, that's why they're doing the voices because they were the princesses, right?
Yeah,
But is the other one doing a voice? I feel like they sort of like lost their
They're
accent.
both doing it.
Okay.
they're both
Jama
good.
Mays was born in Tennessee.
Yeah, that's why I gave her a little Holly Hunter voice.
Okay. Wow. But I thought she was good, I guess.
They were both fine.
What do you think? What do you think about the other daughter, Bill and Ted's daughters?
Well, I'm still on the princesses. Can I talk
Oh,
about the
who cares?
princesses for a goddamn second?
Who cares about the princesses?
Well, see, now you're acting like the writers of this movie.
Well, that's why I don't care about them. They don't do anything.
But that's a problem for me. I think the
Okay, I
princesses should have
agree.
been more present to the film. They bothered to recast them using likable comedy actresses, and
Who's
then
the
they
other
gave them. It was Jayma Mays and Aaron Hayes. It rhymes.
one?
All right.
Okay.
Aaron Hayes, of course, from Children's Hospital, among many other things. But of course, I think of her as being the wife from the first season of Kevin Can Wait, who they then murdered off screen so that they could get Leah Remini back on the show.
Wow, how'd they do that?
It was literally like the second season starts, and they're like at the wife's funeral.
Oh, one of those. Wow.
So crazy.
Did they say how she died?
I don't think they did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was like it was almost the show became a mystery. You tune in every week, like looking for clues about how they killed the wife.
They didn't treat it like a mystery. You just viewed it like
I
a mystery
treated it
now.
like a mystery. Yes.
Okay, that's fun.
It was fun. Um, well, all right. So those were the princess's daughters, right? So Bill and Ted's daughters. That was the big part of this movie. I felt almost at the end like they were saying like, how you guys feel about maybe a fourth Bill and Ted with gender swap?
Right.
So you got Nepo baby Samara Weaving.
Hugo
And-
Weaving?
Yes, Hugo Weaving's like her uncle or something.
Oh my god, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that until I was doing the research for this movie because I read that Keanu found that out on the set and they bonded over it because Keanu's friends with Hugo Weaving from his classic films The Matrix.
Miss Anderson.
Oh my god, Keanu should have called her that on the set. How amazing would that be if you're Samara Weaving? You show up at set, you just got cast as Keanu Weaving. He's Miss Anderson. I love it. Wow, that was delightful to me, Logan. We
Yeah.
could just stop the podcast right now.
I feel like we're doing a great job so far, to be
Oh,
honest.
I'm so glad to hear it. I love to get updates on you on how we're doing. All right,
What do you think about the other one though? She
Oh,
was the one
right,
that I thought
right.
was really putting on a performance. Ted's daughter.
Yeah, the internet loves her. That's what I found out when I went and went to look like, hey, so what did Ryder Strong think of this movie? What did Andy Herron think of this movie?
Right. You're not supposed to do that.
And,
That's supposed to be a me thing. I want to surprise you
Well,
with that. You
I
do like
did
all
it-
the research. I want to at least like get one thing. on
I
it.
didn't actually look at, but I looked at like what listeners thought of it and what like critics thought of it, and almost everyone in their reviews said some kind of nice thing. Like some of the reviews were just like, "Thank you for putting this lady in something."
Like they know her from other stuff and she's good. Do you
Yeah.
know her? You've got.
I
to
did-
know
I
everybody.
didn't- I didn't know her. By the way, I didn't know them.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. That's what I meant.
you should correct everybody on Letterboxd who's misgendering them.
Yeah, well, maybe they weren't that at the time.
Oh, maybe you learned from their Letterboxd reviews. You were like, oh, everybody's.
No, I
doing
learned
right.
from their IMDb page because the first line is Bridget Lundy Payne is an American actor and fashion icon. They consider their acting career to be a sideshow to their career as a pop star in the improvisational voice band Subtle Pride.
It's like that's like Dylan Minnette. He was like, I'm acting just to fund my band career in Wallows.
What's the name of his band? Wallows. Right? Thank-
What's her band name? Her and Keanu could have bonded over their band also. Oh, that was the other
Yeah.
one bonding with him. Hugo Weaving's.
Yeah, they
Right.
were on the set of Bill and Ted going like, yeah, this is our side project. man. After this, we're gonna go on tour. Subtle Pride opening up for Dog Star.
Subtle Pride.
Yeah.
All right.
So Bridget Lundy Payne, I think what people know her from is that Netflix show Atypical.
Okay.
I never watched that, so I'm not familiar with their work, but you know, that was a liked show at the time, right?
I'm not. I remember it had the guy from It Follows.
Yeah, but
Oh, I
that
know
show
about it.
went on for 4 seasons on Netflix, which is pretty rare. And I remember it having good reviews and things at the time.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. All right. So I guess that's what people knew them from. I didn't know them from Adam though. And I don't know. I was up and down on them. Like I liked the
I got on
idea.
board with what they were doing. Honestly, like
I got
they were really committed. That I respected it. Like they were trying to do Keanu impression.
oh I to be honest, the they them thing threw me off just now because I thought you were talking about them collectively.
Oh no, I meant Millie Bobby Brown. What's her name?
Bridget Lundy Payne? Was
Yeah,
that it?
Yeah. I don't know. She had three.
Um
Yeah, Bridget Lundy Payne.
uh,
Yeah. I was talking about.
collectively, I want to say I like the idea of following Bill and Ted's kids and them like really looking up to Bill and Ted and having some of the same interests and having their own little like wacky way of speaking and codependent friendship and stuff like that. That all is good. I wasn't sure about either of the performances at first. I got on board actually with Lundy Payne faster than I did Weaving.
Me too. You know what I felt like Weaving was doing? I felt like she was doing a. Her name's not Kristen Wiig. Who's the other one who was in Ghostbusters?
Melissa McCarthy,
No, come on. The blonde woman.
Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, I felt like she was doing a Chris Hemsworth impression a little bit.
No, what is her name from SNL?
Come on. Kate McKinnon. I
Thank
felt like
you.
she was sort of doing a
Jesus
Kate McKinnon
Christ.
thing a little bit. And I
Yeah.
didn't like it. And then I got on board a little more. But I felt like I was quicker getting on board with Bridget Lundy Brown. Bridget.
Payne.
Yeah, Bridget Lundy Payne.
I think they were the better of the two. And by the end, I was kind of okay with both of them.
Mhm.
But if I had to pick one, for sure, Bridget Lundy Payne was doing the more interesting stuff. Like
Yeah.
they probably made me laugh a few more times. Like I don't think Samara Weaving ever made me laugh out loud. Like she
Mhm.
just like charmed me a couple times. Whereas I think they hit me in the funny bone a couple times.
I think that's the way to put it, yeah. But I
Yeah.
didn't love their now I'm thinking about both of them now. I didn't love their plot, like getting like doing the just going to get the band, and like none of the band members stood out that much really. I was a little bored
No,
by
not
that.
at all. Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. Right. They went through the whole thing where they were like finding people from history.
It was fun seeing Kid Cudi.
Yeah, that was weird. The whole thing was weird to me. Like, I wasn't really into the Hendrix thing and then Louis Armstrong meeting Hendrix. Like, all of that was there to be like, remember Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure? Because that's the classic movie of the franchise. And so they had like a little subplot in this movie that was sort of like following in the footsteps.
And also remember
lot of that.
remember the NoHo Hank character? He plays a robot. He opens a door.
Robo Hank.
Oh, that's good. Why didn't I think of that? He accidentally like sends them to hell, and it's like an accident. And then Bill and Ted go to hell to get them back, and like everything is just so coincidental. I felt like with their plot, getting them all together, that I like looking back on it, it didn't really work for me, and in the moment too.
No, it doesn't really work for me either. I think like ultimately, like the emotional conclusion of them composing the song and Bill and Ted just like playing along, like the Bill and Ted's role in saving the world was creating these people that would create a song, and then they're just like part of Wild Stallions with that. Like all of that worked for me. Like that's good screenwriting.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I enjoyed that.
But I feel like a lot of the movie is just like keeping their ball in the air so we can get to that at the end.
No, I agree with that. Yeah, where I really wanted to be was meeting future Bill and Ted. Like we meet them and they're like burnout
Those
versions.
scenes are great. All of them.
Incredible. Especially we haven't talked about Bill, Alex Winter much, but I think he's amazing in this movie.
No, he's definitely still got, like, you could tell why he wanted to make another Bill and Ted movie. He had more to do with this character, clearly. Like, he really captured the character in a way Keanu never really did. Like, I love Keanu, but he didn't have the essence of Ted locked and loaded the same way Alex Winter still did for Bill.
Yeah, this time around, I agree. Especially the part when they go 5 years into the future and it's the burnouts like pretending to be rock stars now, and and it's like Alex Winter and he's got like the feathers in his hair and he's doing funny stuff with his hand. He's just like moving his hand every few seconds.
Yeah,
and it was just so. Oh, Dave Grohl. Remember they give him Dave Grohl's song?
That's my favorite part. Was when they are pretending that like they're now successful and rich and they're doing British accents and stuff. And they have an excuse for the British accent. Like that whole sequence was just a complete delight on every level.
Yeah, that was my favorite part. I love when future Bill had a gun on present Bill and he was like, whoa, you don't why do you have to put the gun on me? And then future Bill was like, because look what happens when I don't. And he took the gun off of him and then present Bill started like running away and he was like and then present Bill was like, oh yeah, I guess you do have to put the gun on me.
Yeah,
I probably did it terribly, but that was so funny. I thought that was probably my favorite joke of the whole movie.
Yeah, there were good ones though. You know, I do think the movie benefited a lot. I just realized I never even mentioned who the director was.
Oh yeah,
and it's actually okay because I didn't realize who the director was for a long part of the movie. I saw his name in the credits and I like recognized it, but I couldn't remember who he was. And it's this guy Dean Parasot, and he directed Galaxy Quest, which is another movie that's kind of like wacky and dumb on the surface, but like works just by sheer force of tone. And I think he kind of brings that lightness of touch to this movie, which helps. Like, I think another director could have made this movie super wacky and shit. But part of what makes Bill and Ted good to me is that
the earnestness.
Exactly. Yeah. And nothing's treated as like that crazy. It's just like, you know, they almost immediately accept everything they have to do in these movies and just like go and do them.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. I see this guy. He also did Red 2, so we'll talk about him again at some point.
Yeah, no, I never did. After Galaxy Quest, his career kind of went off the rails. He made Fun with Dick and is he?
from his picture, it looks like.
He made Fun with Dick and Jane with Jim Carrey, which was a flop. And then after that, he worked in TV for a little while and then did Red 2, and now he's back to TV, I guess. So, I mean, every few years he gets like pulled out of the doldrums, probably by like actors and producers that are fans of Galaxy Quest, and he gets to make a movie, but it doesn't happen that often.
This movie did look a little bit like TV, a little bit, especially early on. Like the wedding didn't look like a movie that much. Like when they're hanging out like in the house early on.
I actually agree with that, and I was gonna ding it at first, but then I looked it up, and it's like $25 million budget for this. Like the movie, like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and Bogus Journey cost that. Like that's
a long
crazy.
time ago.
Yeah,
yeah. No, I don't think they should spend like $60 million on it or whatever. But
no, I don't think they should. But seeing such a special effects driven movie that only costs $25 million, I can see why they had to do other stuff on the cheap.
That pod that Rufus's granddaughter or daughter is hanging, that looked bad. I will say that.
I disagree.
Really? I thought it looked real. I thought
first time
made everything else look so real.
I disagree. The first time that showed up, I was like, "Ooh, they got a budget on this one."
No, it looks it was so jarring having that, and then like they would walk on like this like walkway that looked bad. Also, I don't want to like talk about how bad Bill and Ted 3 looked. I don't want to do that. The grandma from Two and a Half Men, she's in this movie. That was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, Sarah Paulson's weird elder bride.
I always forget that. Yeah.
I never forget that.
But that was cool. She's the villain.
Is
I don't
she
know.
cool? Was that cool?
Yeah, it's always fun to see her.
Eh,
Okay.
she might
I
be
like
my
it.
LVP.
Not me.
Okay.
What did you think about Death? William Sadler's back.
When I first saw him show up, first of all, he weirdly has an executive producer credit on the movie.
Awesome.
Yeah. But and so does Alex Winter, but not Keanu. I love that. Keanu could have easily taken like a novelty producer credit. Like, hey, I'm Keanu Reeves. I deserve a producer credit because I'm the star of this film. But he didn't do any work as a producer. So Keanu Reeves is cool enough to just be like, no, you don't have to like pay me extra money to be a producer. I didn't produce anything.
Well, it's funny that you're viewing that as a positive, because I think you could spin it and be like, well, he could have like pitched in an extra $10 million and like really helped out like brushing up the special effects in this movie. Gotten a producer credit also.
Listen, Keanu showing up to the set of this fucking thing is
I just think
present
it's
enough.
cute how positive you are about it.
I am well, I think anything Keanu does, he's wholesome, isn't he?
He is, yeah. He
That's how we
shaved for
think
this
about
movie
him
too.
now.
He was
He
like in
did.
full Keanu mode, like he had the beard and everything, and he shaved for the movie.
It's true. It was weird seeing old Keanu not with a beard.
Yeah, we don't really see
It made
that
him look
too much.
older.
Really?
Yeah.
Made him look not as sexy. I wouldn't know if I would say older.
All right. Hey, I will say, going back, I liked Sadler as Death. I thought it might be just like fan service or something, but they found like a good use for him, and I liked his like feud with Bill. Like they apparently like were in the band together for a while.
You know what it actually reminded me of? It reminded me of Pop Star.
It's
And then
sorta
at the
like
end they come
that.
together.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
They like have
William Sadler
on the
as
farm.
Death is like the lonely farm
Kiva,
guys.
or maybe it's the other one,
Lonely
I don't know.
Island guys. Yeah,
But that was awesome. I love Death too. And William Sadler is just so good in this role. Like, is this
Yeah.
William Sadler's best role ever? Death? It might be. I don't know.
I wouldn't go that far, but I mean, William Sadler's one of those guys. Like anytime he shows up in anything, he's great.
The Mist, right? He's in The Mist.
Yeah, he's fucking great in The Mist.
Yeah, he is cool in that.
Die Hard 2, fucking.
She's naked at the
Shawshank.
start of that. Remember that? It opens with him doing like yoga.
Yeah, that's the first. Listen, you say the words William Sadler to me, and the first thing that
Me
happens
too.
in my brain is I picture that.
You say Die Hard too, the same thing. That's the first thing that I think of. It's a great,
Yeah, me
great
too,
way to
baby.
start a movie.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah,
Dennis
they
Franz.
unite the world.
They do, and it's a beautiful thing. I'm happy with the movie. I'm glad they made this. And I'll watch it again at some point. It's good. It's good. I was pretty down on it for a while, and then I walked out of it feeling very positive.
Yeah, I don't think I was ever really that down on it. I liked it throughout. Didn't reach the highs of the first two, but I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, but I think I'm gonna give it a 3, like I did Bogus Journey, and I was at a 2 for like the vast majority of this movie.
Yeah, not me, but I never reached a 4. I feel like I was at a 3 pretty much throughout.
Okay,
And my MVP, I'm gonna go with Alex Winter.
I will too. He deserves it.
Yeah, I agree. He does. And my LVP, I'm sorry to you. I guess you knew who she was, Ted's wife.
Oh, Aaron Hayes.
Yeah, she did less than Bill's wife for me, I thought.
I mean,
And I liked Two and a Half Men, grandma.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with her, Holland Taylor. But like, no beef with her or anything.
Would you feel that
I
way
mean-
if she wasn't with Sarah Paulson?
Yeah, of course.
I feel like you wouldn't. I feel like you're sort of giving it to her because of that.
Whoa, that's kind of rough. Should my
She
LVP?
can't escape
No,
that.
wait. I have a different LVP. The therapist is played by Jillian Bell. who's,
Oh,
like
yeah.
a comedic star that people really like.
She's in one of the Jump Street movies.
Yeah, and she was in Rough Night. And anytime I see her in anything, I'm like, why do people like her? She does not. I don't find her funny at all, and I think she's kind of not a good actor either. And so,
Good call.
yeah, she's my LVP. The only thing I ever really liked her in was that last Lynn Shelton film. She shows up in that, and she's all right.
Okay.
But I also didn't really like Kid Cudi.
I thought it was fun. I like that he was like, I'm not a part of history, but I'm still here.
I don't know. It was this weird period of time where Kid Cudi was like, "I'm a comedian now. I'm gonna show up in comedies,"
Who
and
should
then
have
like
gotten? Snoop Dogg?
maybe
Yeah. That's probably the answer. Snoop Dogg.
I was thinking like
Eminem, that would've been funny.
around this time, like Kid Cudi did Kids See Ghosts with Kanye, and I was like, what if it was Kanye instead? That would ruin the whole vibe of this movie right now.
Yeah. I feel like anytime I listen to an old episode of the franchise, you talk about how much you love Kanye.
I know, and I mean that was really hard for me when Kanye became a Nazi. I was genuinely
All
like,
your favorites are bad people.
Just do you think that says something about me? I think it just means
Possibly.
I like challenging art,
Spike Lee is a good guy, as far as we know.
as far as we know. Yeah, he's been married to the same woman for a long, long time. But you're right. I mean, like, who are my
Woody.
Woody, Joss Whedon, Louis C.K. Like, I was big fan of all those guys.
Yeah. That's rough.
Yeah, me.
None of mine will get canceled.
Me too. I took a hit. I lost a lot of good guys.
Good guys. Oh my god.
All right.
Harvey
Let's-
Weinstein, you loved him too.
No, I was glad when that happened.
That was the most obvious one. It was like the first one and the most obvious one.
Of course, yeah. Well, we all thought maybe that was the end of it, but it launched
No, it
Yeah.
opened everything. Anyway,
Yeah.
oh, by the way, we should
all
rank
thank
them.
we should all thank Harvey for that.
Yeah, kind of in a way. All right, I will rank them 1, 2, 3. Excellent,
Yeah.
bogus, face the music.
Yeah.
Ryder Strong, didn't watch them. He hasn't seen a single Bill and Ted, as we know.
Wow.
And Andy didn't watch it either. So
Wow. So who can we go to in the event that we don't have a review?
I think we should go to the most differing opinion.
I think it should just be the third most famous person you follow.
Oh, I don't really follow that many famous people. But Matty Rags gave it a 2.
I think that's okay.
Well,
Like,
he's the only
I
one
see-
I follow that didn't give it a 3. Besides,
But there's a few
Motherfucker.
people I follow that gave it 4s and 5s, and I understand a 2 more than I understand a 4 and a 5.
Me too. But he's just the only one who gave it a 2 with a review. So
Can you stop talking about me too for 2 goddamn seconds?
all right, okay.